Hello students, good morning everyone. Hope you all are good. So here comes the next chapter. The name of the chapter is Atoms and Molecules. Very interesting chapter. This is chapter 3 of your chemistry. Fine. See students, we'll be discussing each and everything, that what exactly the atom is, what exactly the molecule is. Fine. Atom is something which is indivisible, the smallest particle, and when atoms they combine together forms the molecule. Fine. This is what we'll be discussing in detail later on in the chapter. Fine. See students, what happened in this chapter, we shall discuss about the various laws. Fine. Various laws. Okay. So which explains how atom combine to form the molecule. So now we have come to know. Fine. So how these atoms, they are combined to form the molecules. This is what will be studying. Fine. Symbols and formulae of atoms and molecules, various way of expressing their masses. See now. So whenever reactant reacts together to form the product, they do this according to certain laws, and these laws they are known as law of chemical combination. This is what you can see here. Fine. So now you will be asking, ma'am, what is reactant, what is product? So let me just tell you here, bache. Reactant is anything. Fine. Reactant species is anything that is reacting. For example, the one which will give product. For example, A plus B gives you C, right? So here A and B, they are combining together. So these are the reactant. Fine, they are the reactant species. If they will react together, only then C will be forming. So what is the C now? This is product. Fine, simple thing is there. This is product, right? Now, so this is what we are going to study this thing. So how whenever reactant react together to form the product, they do this with the help of these laws that we are going to study now. Fine. So law of conservation of mass and law of definite proportion. Students, remember this thing that Anthony L. Lavoisier, fine, A.L. Lavoisier is the name of the person who laid the foundation of chemical sciences by establishing two important laws of chemical combination that we are going to study now. See what they are telling. Law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created and nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Now how can we explain this thing with the help of example? Then for that, look here. See, suppose A plus B gives you C, right? Now A, for example, we can take it as 2 watermelon, B we can take it as 3 watermelon. They are added together, react together to form the 5 watermelon. Fine, this is what they are telling. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Fine, you all can see here, this means that in any chemical reaction, remember this thing, in any chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. Now how? See, this will be the total mass of the reactant, this will be the total mass of the reactant, and this is equal to the total mass of the product. Very simple. 2 plus 3 is 5, and here also it is 5. So remember this thing. This is what the law of conservation of mass says. Now students, here comes an activity that is very important. So you all can see here. See, they are telling take some. Let me just erase it for you now. See what they are telling, that take some sodium sulfate solution in a conical flask and some barium chloride solution in an ignition tube. So you can see here Na2SO4 solution has been taken in a conical flask, and inside this there is an ignition tube in which BaCl2 is taken, right? Now what we need to do, bache, we have to hang the ignition tube in the flask by a thread. Fine. Then what we need to do, we have to find the mass of the flask on a balance. And can you tell me what is the this mass of the flask on the balance? 300.23 grams, right? Now this is the first condition. Now what about the second condition? Here they are telling tilt the flask. Fine, so we have tilted the flask. Now if we are tilting, obviously bache, there are different chemicals. First one we have sodium sulfate in the flask, and then if we'll tilt this ignition tube, BaCl2 is also there. So a chemical reaction takes place, fine. And which things are forming? Sodium chloride and barium sulfate. So then they are telling, then find the mass of the flask again. So you can see here, if we have again, we have to measure the mass. So it is approximately, it is absolutely same as that of earlier one, fine, the first one. So now I will be writing the chemical equation for you. What they are telling, that what you need to do is you need to add two things here. So you can see here, sodium sulfate is Na2SO4, fine, it is added to BaCl2, fine. These two things have added together, then which things have formed? NaCl, fine. NaCl, just wait a second. NaCl and barium sulfate, that is BaSO4. And you all can see here, see, this is barium sulfate and this is NaCl. Now you can simply balance the chemical equation. So this is how they are telling. This is what the law of conservation of mass. I hope with the help of this activity this topic is clear. Now bache, coming on to the next thing that we are having is, that is law of constant proportion, right? It states that in a chemical compound the elements are always present in a definite proportion by mass. So this thing is also very important, fine. You all can see here. Now if I'll take an example here, like we have taken an example of water and ammonia, that is NH3. So how will be writing the NH3? N, then you can see 3 hydrogen are there, and in water 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, right bache? Now they contain two elements, fine. Water contains two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. They combine together in the same ratio of 2:16. Right students, how 2:16? See here, we have H2 and O. H2 and O. Now what is happening? You can see here, hydrogen is 1. Fine, hydrogen atomic number is 1, and 1 multiplied by 2 gives you 2, right? So here you can write simply 2. Now what will be the atomic number of this oxygen bache? This is atomic mass, sorry, 16, fine. So 16. So 2 ones are 2 and 2 eights are 16. So they are present in 1:8 by their mass. If 9 gram of water is decomposed, fine. If 9 gram of water is decomposed, so we get 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. This is what they are telling you, 1:8 ratio. Right students? Similarly, we can perform the ammonia as well. Ammonia always contain two elements. One is nitrogen, another one is hydrogen. You all can see here, this one is nitrogen and we have 3 hydrogen. So hydrogen is 3, right? NH3 है ना बच्चे देखो, NH3. So hydrogen is 3 because atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So 1 into 3 is 3, and nitrogen it is 14. Fine. So I'll be telling you these things later on. You have to memorize, bache. You have to learn all the atomic number, all the atomic masses of first 20 elements. Fine. This thing is very, very important. Let me tell you. If you want to make your base strong in chemistry, then these first 20 elements, and there are some more elements, fine, that I'm going to discuss with you in our next modules. So this was all about today's module. I hope the topic is clear to each one of you students. Thank you.